All right, so today we talked about using something called the two-word strategy. And the two-word strategy is a type of margin note, a reading is thinking strategy, that's a little bit simpler than taking lengthy margin notes. So the first step when you're using the two-word strategy is you read one paragraph at a time, and then you stop at the end of each paragraph, and you ask yourself, what was this part mostly about? Then you choose two keywords from that part and write them in the margins. That's all you have to do is write two keywords. So let's go ahead and practice with the first paragraph. One January morning in 2003, a group of families was exploring Everglades National Park. Located in the state of Florida, this beautiful wilderness is made up of 2,500 square miles of protected wetlands. Okay, so what was this paragraph mostly about? And it's mostly just about telling us that families are visiting a protected park in Florida. So I'm going to choose park and protected as my two words, and then I'm going to write them in the margin. One rule with using the two-word strategy is to avoid using bold words, whether you know it or not. And you really need to pick words that are actually in the text. So protect is right here, park is right here. But it's also important that you make sure you write them in the margin. Research says that if you write something, you're more likely to remember it. All right, let's go to the second paragraph. Rivers of golden grass stretched out in all directions, and the visitors heard frogs singing and crickets chirping. The group had high hopes that they might see a blue heron, a snowy egret, or even a Florida panther. So this is mostly about what people hoped to see while they were visiting the park. So I'm going to choose hopes. And I'm going to break the rules slightly, and I'm going to use animals. They hope to see all these different animals, a blue heron, a snowy egret, and a Florida panther. But I can't list all those because I can only have two words, so that's why I'm going to use animals. All right, the third paragraph. As it turned out, the visitors were about to see something even more unusual and quite horrifying. A huge alligator wrestling an enormous snake. They later learned it was a Burmese python. The alligator had its jaws clamped around the snake, and the snake was wrapped around the alligator as the animals struggled like two monsters in a horror film. So this is mostly about what the people actually saw, which was an alligator and a snake wrestling with each other. So I'm going to put snake and alligator. And I think I forgot to tell you this at the beginning. Please make sure that you're writing the same margin notes as I am right now so that you have an example to use. Okay, for the fourth paragraph, some of the visitors took videos, and within days, the videos appeared on TV and websites worldwide. Most people who saw the videos found them either thrilling or gross, but to many wildlife experts, the wrestling match between the two animals was evidence of a big, slithery problem. All right, this is mostly about what the visitors did when they actually saw this. They took videos, and experts realized that this could potentially be a problem. So I'm going to choose videos and problem. Problem. That's what I'll choose. Because that's the first look at a possible problem. Okay, now the really, really cool thing about using the two-word strategy is it helps you be able to remember what each part was about. And then also you can very easily summarize without having to go back and reread each paragraph. So I'm going to summarize this introduction using my 8 words. And obviously I'll have to add some other words for it to all make sense. All right, so this section is about families visiting a protected park in Florida. They hope to see many different animals, but what they actually saw was a snake and an alligator fighting. People took videos, and then experts realized that this is probably a problem. And so that's all you have to do. 2 words for each paragraph, and you don't have to even, mark anything in the text. You don't have to write lengthy notes. It's just 2 words. So what I'd like for you to do is to go ahead and practice this strategy throughout the rest of the article, and then we'll actually end up using what you have put in your margins for our next station next week.